Okay, so it's 3:39 on the 26th Saturday. It's so fucking intense. I can't. Oh my god, this day already. Yeah, every day is so I don't even know. I swear to God, it's just like I feel like life is just spinning around me, and it's just the weirdest thing. And then this microwaving, and then there's something going on with some kind of sickness. I have been totally under attack. The dogs, the cats upstairs, it's the craziest thing. And those cats don't even go outside. And everybody is just got these weird sicknesses. Mag started puking again yesterday. So I'm doing this stomach stuff. Amy had told me about this gut stuff. It's powder. And they could smell it and they're always like, oh. But anyways, last time it helped. So all of a sudden I start sweating. Oh my God. See, they're fucking microwaving us. I swear to God. It's like insane. But anyways, I have a whole bunch of just scattered shit to talk about. When I just went upstairs, because I've always got to go to the bathroom in the morning. And when I went upstairs, the dogs, the cats, everything, I was like, what? They all came at me. The dogs were barking, and my mom doesn't, like, I've been up since 2, well, my dogs wake up, and they wake me up. And it's just like, fuck. And I was uncomfortable again last night, though. I was like having a hard time getting comfortable. But I go into these deep fucking dream things. And so anyways, when I got up, I go look at my phone. It's like 2:15. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And then I'm always just like, okay, I can take a nap. Just get over it. And then, but my mom, she doesn't typically get up. Like I'll stay up for hours now. And then, I probably will stay up until I finish going and walking them. And then it will be time that I'll sit out in the sun for an hour. And then, which I don't even know how much dangerous that's getting. There's all sorts of weird things about that people are saying. Like people are going out in the sun, getting cooked, but they're not getting any color, which I have thought like it's weird. Like it still seems like it activates the melanin, but it doesn't. I don't know. It just seems like it doesn't stay the same. So I don't know. But when I went up there, though, and the dogs were all like going crazy, I was like, what in the hell? But they calmed down, so she went back to sleep or whatever. But it's like, oh my God. And then that's just whatever. The thing that keeps coming into my head that I just seen was these people who are, what are they, like singers, I guess you just call them. I don't know that I would call them musicians. I don't know that they're musicians. And I think like Justin Timberlake and Donnie Wahlberg, I think his name, Donnie Wahlberg, is Marky Mark, that's Mark Wahlberg. But Donnie is his brother. And I don't know, he was in one of those boy bands. Justin Timberlake was in one of these boy bands. And I think that they just, I don't really even know, what their voices are. I don't know that they write their own music or songs. I think they just audition, and if they can sing a little and dance, that they get taken into these boy bands so that I don't know, the music industry can make money off of them or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, they're on tour. So Justin Timberlake's on tour. Donnie Wahlberg's on tour. Jessica Simpson. And so the videos I was just seeing where people were talking about how weird Jessica Simpson was being at hers. They said that lost audio for a bit. It was some other weird thing that happened. But then she told everybody that she peed her pants. It's like, she's just peeing her pants up on stage. I don't know. You do like a lot of these people go and do these changes in their clothes. Why wouldn't you just get off the stage to go to the bathroom and change your clothes and let the musicians play? Do they have musicians? I don't know. I think they just go out and prance around on the stage. But the weirdest is the those two guys. Like, I didn't see footage. All I've seen is people talking about, like, what? She's out there peeing on the stage and she's telling everybody? Like, what in the world? Is she wearing Depends? Is the pee running down her leg? Like, what? It's the weirdest thing. But I think that these are not the real people. And I don't know about these two guys. I don't know about, because it was so weird how similar their concert was. So first I saw the Donnie Wahlberg one, and he's up on the stage, and he's got this big red screen behind him that it seemed like it was filmed, like it wasn't him at the concert. It was filmed or something of him walking, but then he was walking. I don't know. It was weird, and it was this red screen, and he was walking, and it was like, I don't know, like walking on the stage, and then he would sing a couple words to a song, literally a couple words, and then he would hold the microphone out for the people to sing it. So then he'd walk to the other side of the stage, hold the microphone out, then he'd take it back, he sang a couple words, then he went and did the same thing. It was this whole concert, just kept doing this. It's like, well, is he too old to sing now? Like, I mean, Frankie Valli's out singing, and he looks like he's just fucking rolled down the Tales of the Crypt. And he's out there singing, and where people were like, you know, is he broke? What's going on? Like, what the hell? When do you stop? And, but then I saw Rick Springfield, and he was out jamming, man. He wasn't ripping his shirt off. He was out there just going down. I mean, I didn't see most of these clips. And then, so Donnie Wahlberg is like, you know, and to me, I was picking up on, like, what the hell, you paid to watch this guy prance around, and he seems almost irritated. And then it wasn't very dancing. It was just literally like, and then and then the audience is the one singing all the songs. I was like, you paid to go to this, to sing to this guy and watch him prance around angrily? And I'm like, man, does he get winded? He can't sing anymore? I don't even know that I don't know what he was singing like before. I wasn't into the boy bands. And then, and I was like, is he just broke? Is he just broke? And so he's out there like, well, I gotta go on this damn tour. Is it his contract? Is his soul be? I'm like, what? It was so fucking weird. But then, and in the comments, people were all like, what bullshit, man? How much did you pay for this? You know, everybody was saying, like, everybody was getting the same thing. Like, that is some bullshit. You go to see somebody perform, and you pay all this fucking money for these damn tickets, and then all they do is hold the thing out for you to sing their songs? And so then, and you'd think, oh, well, that would be the only one. And don't for this really weird red screen that was behind him. And whatever, if it was him on the screen, it was weird. And then, you know, because a lot of them, they'll have these big screens, so if you're far back, you can see what's going on. But it seemed different than that. It seemed weird. And then, so then I started seeing footage of Justin Timberlake, and he's on tour, and his was in Germany or something. I don't even know where fucking Donnie Wahlberg's was. So Justin Timberlake is in Germany. It was exactly the same thing. It was this red fucking screen behind him prancing around with this attitude and not dancing. Because wasn't that the thing with the boy bands? They'd all do these little dances and shit and then sing in harmony or whatever the fuck they did. And then, like, I was into bands, musicians, like, I thought boy bands, to me, I know they were super popular, a lot of people like them, but we all get our own opinions. And to me, I thought that they were silly. I thought they were dime store bullshit. And then I think, you know, I think they are getting the songs handed to them to try and, I think it's a big fucking shenanigans. And so he's doing the same thing, prancing around the stage angrily, and then holding the microphone out. and he'd say a couple words of of a line, and then he would just hold it out. And the audience is singing it. In the comments, people were like, oh, when is the next performance of the audience? How much did the audience make off this show? It's like, it is insane. These people pay to come and see them. So I was like, okay, so is he also like too winded to sing? And he just has to get out there and make money? I mean, it seems, I've heard, he's got a lot of shit going on. Like, he's got accusations on him. I heard that Jessica was leaving it. Like, who knows with all the fucking drama and bullshit that goes on in Hollywood. So, I don't know. But it was really weird how identical the stages looked in the performance. And I was like, man, are these like, do they have no, I don't even know. Because you'd think they'd be out there singing and dancing if that's their jam. And then Jessica Simpson, you know, she's out there and the mic's going off and she's peeing on the stage. It's like, what in the clone business is going on? Are they too old that they can't perform? Like, I don't know. I was like, that is weird. So many more people keep talking about Selma and Angelina, and that this town is known, like the whole town is all about this witchcraft and stuff, and that they celebrate it. There's always these weird things going on there. I don't know that they're, you know, doing it in their own kids or anything, because there was all these people saying, like, you know, hide your kids when those two came. So I don't know what this town is all about, but that translates into the land of the witches or something, and then they do all these ceremonies and all the time. It's not just like once a year or something. They're constantly doing these ceremonies and witchcraft and stuff. And what was that? Because I saw something. Oh yeah, I think, you know, I always have these tarot readers popping up on my thing, and I get these messages all the time, these same messages. And then this one said, well, maybe you should do some ceremonies. Maybe you should do some, I don't remember what she called it, some kind of magic, or, you know, instead of living in intention and moving towards your manifestation, just go and do a ceremony, burn a candle, and, you know, whatever, all of the stuff. And I was like, I don't even understand how somebody could think like that's how you're supposed to be moving through life, not living by intention. And you're going to get what you want if you just sit back and just write it on a piece of paper and burn it. And then you're going to get like all the things you ask for. And the thing is too, is like, if you go, and some of these people, like, they interact with spirits, and those spirits can make things go like in a way, but see, it's like they become like your god or something. It's like you owe them. And so it's not something you want to be involved with, because then you would get yourself in an entanglement with this spirit. So they're giving you what you ask for, but there's conditions. And so I was like, there's no fucking way I would go and do, like, you would live by intention and go towards your thing, not just try and magically make them happen. It's the same attitude as these people just quantum jump, just leave what you don't like and jump into your best timeline, your best version of yourself. It's like, how in the world? And but to sit there and think like, well, I'm just gonna go and do a ceremony, and then I'm going to be in my best thing. That's going to bring me into where I want to be. But if you go and you do that, and especially if you ask for help from a certain spirit, they're not just doing it to be nice. They're not just helping you out to be nice, if they even have the power to do whatever it is you're asking. Some, you know, like, that's where the voodoo comes in. And some people, you know, they put the voodoo on. Well, those, the spiritual realm that is feeding off of that is it's dark. And so you get yourself in a what is that, like an agreement with these dark spirits. And they'll come collecting, just like that old fable or whatever. You know, the you make a deal with the devil, he's going to come and knocking at your door. Which there's a story. I just all of a sudden came to my mind because there's a story. So there's lots and lots of people that tell crime videos and spooky stories and all sorts of folklore and stuff like that. And this one was, and then they get people who message them and stuff. And so this girl has this really spooky story that she said started happening to her. And so she said that her grandma, so I don't even know the whole thing. It's something like her grandma had lost a baby and she wanted to have a baby or something. So she made a deal, and then this being showed up, and he had a distinct way of looking and all that stuff. And he said, you know, made the deal. Like, okay, yeah, but you're going to, whatever, we're going to take your firstborn grandchild or something in order to pay back for what you asked for, some kind of thing like that. And so she's like, okay. And it's like, this is these are real deals, y'all. Like, you don't be thinking like, oh yeah, they're not gonna, I'll disappear. No. So it was something, as this child was getting older, this guy would show up all the time, and he never aged. He never looked different. And he would just show up out of the blue. She could be in a store, and he would all of a sudden be standing there and stuff. And so I think she tried to run or hide or something. And then he would still show up because this is spiritual. You can't, like, what? And so then there's a whole bunch of weird stuff happen, but the story's coming from the grandchild, and this guy keeps coming, and he looks the same as what his grandma had talked about. And so she said that he keeps showing up, and she doesn't know what to do. And so I don't know, she could have made up the whole elaborate story or whatever, but that is true. Like, you cannot, you're gonna make a deal with them, they're gonna come and collect. You can't, these spirits, if they, and it depends on what they can do, you know. And you know what, I don't know, I just say you live by intention, and you stay in your sovereignty. You don't go asking other spirits that you believe are more powerful than you to get you where you want to go. Use your own damn feet and get where you want to go. But it's like his tarot reader's attitude was just like, well, you know, just do a spell and then you'll get there. It's like, well, I don't know. And then they're passing that information around, and it's like, you might be telling people who don't know what they're messing with, because there's so many people who are really clueless about the spiritual world. And then you're telling them, well, just do a spell, it's no big deal. If you're calling in something, you're calling in something. And right now too, we have this, I don't even know, with the shenanigans that go on, I swear to God. Now they're saying, well, in November, we're going to be under attack by angry aliens or something. Aliens are out to get us. Well, we've been fucking under their control for a long fucking time. The angry ones, the ones that have been out to get us. We've been under their control, so you know, and then I saw somebody talking about, you know, because this is out in the Science magazine or something now, and they're saying, well, we believe that, you know, for one thing, we have something headed for us, some big thing, they're saying. And then I thought it was supposed to hit us in a couple weeks, but a couple months, I don't know, some big thing. Now they're saying that the aliens are coming, and they are coming to fight with us. We also have more crop circles showing up. Yeah, they can come and make crop circles, and they can't just come and just wipe us out. Like, give me a fucking break. And so then there's one girl who I saw talking about it. She said, oh, they're trying to cover up the rapture. So you have the people who are waiting on the rapture think it's just around the corner. So I don't know. if I was waiting on the rapture, I'd want more opportunity to raise my vibration because where are you gonna go? So then, so it was a whole weird thing, like on the yesterday, the 25th. It was like the day of no time or something, and then I saw somebody saying, "Oh, they just made it up." Because they're trying to block the feminine energy or something. They're trying to keep us in a low state of frequency because this is the time of where we're switching from the patriarch to the matriarch. We're switching energies. And when we go into the new one, it's going to be based on the feminine. But you got to remember, everybody has both. It's not like the women are just going to be in charge. It's going to be that energy, that way of thinking, more nurturing, more loving, not the protective, I'll fight you for, it's a different energy. So but this one lady was saying they're trying to block it. So they come up with this day of no time or something. I don't know. I just kept hearing people talk about the 25th. Well, we got through the 25th, but still there's this weird fucking energy. But now they're saying that there's going to be a big solar eclipse. It's going to last 6 minutes in August. And I saw somebody who was saying that they're being told that the National Guard or the Army or something's coming to be there. I mean, this is like in their newspaper, on their news or something, to be there during this solar eclipse. So some kind of shenanigans are going to go. I don't know. Everything is just going to keep picking up and picking up. I saw this guy who said he just landed in Bozeman, Montana, and he said as soon as he got off and was walking, he said the ground is shaking. And I think a lot of people don't feel like you have to have an awareness about, the ground and the vibration. And it's going to be stronger in different places, and different, reactions are going to keep going because it wasn't just one flood in New Mexico. I think there was 2 in New Mexico and 1 in Texas the other day. Just out of the blue, just came, and there's a disaster after disaster after disaster going. And then there was a Southwest Airlines yesterday, and it took off and started going, and all of a sudden it took a nosedive and goes flying down. People are flying and screaming, and flight attendants are getting hurt. The one flight attendant said he quit right then and there. He's like, I'm no longer flying. The pilot said that they had a near miss to another plane, and they had to dive down real quick to miss hitting into this plane. And then the guy who's reporting this, he's always reporting on disaster kind of things. He said that there was another one a couple days ago, and I don't remember what city it was at, where it was the same thing. These 2 planes almost hit. And he's like, there should be no way that planes should be hitting in the thing. We have radar, and they have like sensors and stuff, and radar and stuff. And he said it's a malfunction of our system. But I'm wondering if there's not some kind of an interference too with like I'm telling you, there is like 3 skies or something. There's a immersion of different vibrations happening. And so it's this world's colliding. And, they sit there and say these ships coming towards us. Well, maybe we're going towards it. Maybe our vibration is moving us into their space, But there's something going on that's, outside. You got to think outside the box, because they're going to just keep trying to make sense of shit and tell you a bunch of bullshit. And whatever they know, there's going to be all based on lies. And then so much stuff is to get us to see things, and it's to bring things to the surface, like this Candace Owens thing. To me, okay, so now they're going to sue her, Meg Run, and they're going to sue her because they said, she said that guy's a man, which I think that, yeah, I think that when you see all this stuff in the evidence, that that's this person's dad, even, like, it gets so weird. Like, it's just so weird. This world is so weird. And it's like, Go to court then. Prove it. Get it in court. Let's see, and prove that you're not. If that's what we're going to argue about and you think you're going to sue this person. But it was saying something about that the case is going to be tried in like Delaware or something. And my mom was saying, well, it's very corrupt there. She's going to probably lose. And I said, oh, I think it's to expose the corruption in the judicial. Whenever these things are going on, it's to expose the crimes going on. Just like yesterday, I saw a video of Donald went to the place where they keep all the money, whatever that place is called, Federal Reserve or something, and which I thought we were going to have this whole big thing, like, where's the gold? And so, but what they were showing was he wanted to go and see the work they'd been doing. They've got all these millions, billions of dollars that they're putting into updating these buildings. And so he wanted to see, like, well, so let's see how far we've gotten. This has been going on 5 years, and we want to see where we spent this money on. And you could tell the guy who is the one who is the guy who works there, who's in charge or something. Ooh, he was he was being exposed. He was kind of snappy back at Donald. And so everything is to expose things and expose what's going on. Like, oh yeah, well, we need this money. We need to do this. But and Donald's like, what is it being spent on? Show me what you're doing. And so anyways, everything is to expose more bullshit. Everything is exposing bullshit. And this whole thing with the what is that? South Park. That, oh my God. When I saw somebody sharing the cartoon of the South Park, the big drama thing, when I saw that, I thought, is this made up? No fucking way is this on TV. No way. I thought somebody just made it up and said, oh, look, this is a South Park episode. But it was real. They really put this on TV. And then there's a whole thing about with Paramount, and that so they signed a contract to put their show on Paramount or something. And so then they did a show against Donald and against censorship and against Paramount. I don't even know. But the parts where it was on Donald, it was really disgusting. It was really disgusting. They had him they made like he was a total dickhead, and then I can't remember, he got totally mad about the whole town of South Park because they said something against him, and you're not allowed to talk against him or something, so he was going to sue him. Well, he's got all these lawsuits going against all these people who talk shit on him, because it's what are those things, like when people go and just make shit up about you and then put it out there, it's like slander and all that stuff. And so, they're making like he's a maniac by going against it, suing people who are talking shit on him. And, but you can't just make shit up and then go out and publicly say it about somebody, especially somebody in power like this. And so he's winning all these lawsuits. Like I said yesterday, like won $36 million or $1 billion, some huge amount. I don't remember who was the payout on that one. I don't think it was like CNN or MSNBC. It was something, though, somebody. And so they lost. And so, because you got to go in and prove it. You can't just say shit. So you got to go in and prove it. When they can't prove it, well, then he's going to win. But this is all to show us the corruption. Everything is to show us the corruption that's going on. And so in this South Park one, they make like, well, South Park said something, the town said something against him, and so he was suing the town. And then, so they have him go home. So the South Park characters all have a certain way. Well, they made his character look like him. It's like his character doesn't match the rest of the show. And so they make like a little thing that looks like him. So it goes in to the bed in his bedroom. So he's all proud of himself. He's going to bed. He takes off all his clothes. So he goes naked. Then he gets in bed with the devil. And then he starts lusting on the devil. And the devil's like, oh, you're too much or whatever. Then there's a part where he's out walking in the desert or something, taking off all of his clothes, and he passes out. And they make him so, just that alone. Like, it is such bullying to be so fucking rude. They make his body so disgusting and just flubbery and blubbery and just, And then, and he's taking off all of his clothes, and then he's naked in the desert, then he falls down and passes out. Then you get the point of perspective looking from, like, you're looking at his penis, and it's tiny, and so they keep showing that, and then you get it from him looking down at his penis, and it looks like somebody's just putting a little finger up, like, it's like, that is, like, how can you do this? And even if you want to be so rude and crude about him, which, do you really know what his penis looks like? For real, for real? I mean, Stormy Daniels, that was all a made up thing. And, she was trying to say all that stuff. Like, why do you keep bringing up his penis and the size of it? Like, how is that any of your fucking business? And think about all of the other men who have small penises and how it is just this constant putting him down, putting him down. It really makes no difference. Like, I mean, you'll find somebody who matches you. Like, everybody's got some match out there. So I don't even know. Like, I know that there's some that are really, really tiny and, micro, and, it would suck, but, like, to keep making fun of them, because you're not making fun of just Donald. You're making fun of every man who is like that. And so it's just like, I don't know, the whole thing, it's such bad taste to me. It's so, how is this funny? Is this where we are at in our life to laugh at things like this? Like, that's our humor at this point. So anyways, there was more stuff about Paramount, and said, I don't even know. I didn't really get the whole thing. I was just really disgusted over a lot of the stuff I saw. It's like, this isn't funny. This isn't stuff like, why would you laugh at this? And then in the comments, oh my God, what in the hell? Like, these people who are anti him are so heinous. They are so hateful. There is so much hate inside these people, so much hatefulness, so much bitterness. And I see why this stuff has to keep coming to bring it to the surface, because these people don't see it yet in themselves. They make excuses. They're the victims. They can do and say whatever they want because he's the bad guy and they're the good guy. It's like, you don't even fucking know. Like, the tables are going to turn and you're going to suddenly see the truth, and it's not going to be pretty. And then there was, he was going somewhere. He's going all over the place. So there's something, I think he was going to Spain. No, maybe it was Scotland. Maybe he went to Spain, or he was going to Scotland and Ireland or something. And all of these things, this all has to do with this, bringing us all in together and bringing us all into this one world nation and signing peace treaties. We're no longer going to fight with each other. And a lot of countries have been used by the crown and creating wars and stuff. Like the whole thing, even with Ireland and what they said about the potato famine wasn't real. They made that shit up. It was more of the crown trying to starve them, so they wouldn't let them have any other food except for potatoes. And so they were trying to starve the people, which they've done over and over and over and over everywhere. And so it's all this control, but see, we're breaking free from the control, and the controllers are being exposed to us, and all the control that has been in the world and the history and the lies behind the history and what has happened. And so everything is to just keep exposing things. That's all I can see, is to keep trying to get us to see things. And then the people who follow the letter stuff, it's crazy how it is. So he'll be talking, and he'll drop a keyword, and so then they'll go and look, put it into the search bar of the posts to see, and what pops up, it's talking about what's going on, and so, or where it's at or whatever. So what it is saying is that the whole thing, a whole bunch of stuff is about to be exposed, and it has to do with something with the HAITI, and I can't remember what it was because there's something about that. But it all ties in with this. Well, I mean, they got the bin, the gauzy thing, and so they got that because that's all. Um, it's all the war machine, and the people who are involved. And so, Hillary, Barra, all these same names. And so the Post was saying something about the HAITI and what's about to be exposed. Also, that's going to include the Red Cross, which this is some fucking shenanigans. I swear to God. I just, it blows my mind because yesterday my mom wanted me to drive her up to the post office. So we drove by with her. The other day I drove by myself and I saw all these tents out at the school. And so, I have a tent in here in the garage. Outside, it is like an oven. In here, like I can shut everything and make it dark and kind of cool off. But but out, if you are out in the thing, it is, fuck, man. I just can't even. And then, so we got the fires, and so they evacuated all these people. And so when I first saw the tents, I thought, oh, well, because sometimes the schools will have like, all the kids come up, we're going to have a big camp out. And so I thought, are they having a camp out with the kids or something? And I thought maybe it was like a one-day thing or something. But as I was driving in the parking lot, it's totally full. Then I started seeing the fire stuff, fire truck, and then the signs, that this is where the Red Cross had. I knew it was at a school, but so the Red Cross has got it set up for the people the evacuation is at this school. And so I was like, that'll suck. How long are they going to be out here, all in these tents? And I wasn't even really thinking so much about the heat at that point because I went really early in the morning and then I came back. But yesterday when my mom wanted to go, it was dead ass in the fucking boiling heat. And so we're driving past and all the tents are out there. And so we started talking about it. And because she knows a bunch of people, who live up there. And so all these people are evacuated into these things. And some of them, it's not even very fancy tents. Some of them don't have tents that you could even stand up in. Some are just like, a weekend, go someplace and sleep in a, they're definitely, as whoever had their tents, grab your tent and get up there and you're sleeping in a tent. And I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like a set thing where Red Cross brought out all these matching tents. They're just tents and they're everywhere, all over this whole place at this school. You know how like a school has all that big giant fenced in place? They're everywhere. Some are over all here, and there's porta potties everywhere, and then there's a whole bunch back there, then there's a bunch over here. There's just all over the place, and then the parking lots are full. And then also it seems that some of the fire people, the people who are there to put out the fires and stuff, they're also having to, this is where they get to go sleep. And so when we were talking about it and it's so hot, I was like, oh my God, how fucking horrible. Like, you could not get out of the heat. Like, it is so fucking hot. There's no shade, nothing. All these tents just out there in this dead-ass heat in the school parking lot. So I start going like, if it's Red Cross, then why are they not opening the school? Because I was saying, like it's so much cooler, but it's still hot in the tent. It's like a sauna, and it makes Stella miserable. And it's just panting and panting and panting. And I've got the tent open and stuff. And then plus we have, cover. I said, why aren't they at least putting them under, like, get a bunch of those gazebo kind of pop-up things and put those over the tent to give them some shade so it can at least cool off in there. And just the heat, the sun barreling down on the tent. Oh my God. I think you'd be cooking people in there. And so I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, they've got a whole fucking school there. They could have opened the school. Why are they not letting people put the tents in the school and letting them set up? And why not, like, even in the halls, close the classrooms and and in the bathrooms? There's bathrooms in schools. Why we have to bring all these porta potties in and then put everybody out in this field in fucking 100-degree the sun? It feels like, I swear to God, if I took a thing out to measure the sun, what the heat is coming from the sun, I bet you it's way more. Like, there's places right now, like in different countries, and they go by Celsius, and but they are in like 140, 150 degrees Fahrenheit in their temperatures. And it's like, Jesus God, like, it is temperatures that you would think, like, you couldn't even survive. In some places, there are people just passing out and stuff. So the sun is incredibly hot. I think it's way hotter than what we're registering as a temperature. How are they even registering it? Are they just having a thermometer out? Or are you actually putting a thermometer out under the sun and seeing where it will go? Because I bet you it goes way up higher. And maybe that's why some of them are having like 150 degrees, but we're being told like we're 97. It's like, yeah, but are you putting it out there? Because maybe we're all at 150. Maybe we're even higher. Who fucking knows if you are under the sun? And so then it was kind of like, I don't know, like a debate or something over because I'm like, with the schools, government, why are they not opening up? Like, these people are taxpayers. Where, and my mom was always, well, but this or that. Well, it's probably insurance and stuff. But see, right there, the connection of the bullshit. So they say, oh, well, we can't open the school for insurance purposes. Oh, okay, so you just put all these people out here in this dead ass heat like this when you got a fucking whole goddamn building right there, and you could open it up. You could and it doesn't make any sense, because why? I mean, every classroom has a lock. If you think like people are going to be going through the classrooms, which everything should be empty, everything is emptied out. What do you think, they're going to take desks and put them in their tent? Tents are so small, they just need a place to sleep, man. But it makes no sense why you wouldn't close the rooms off then. Or even, I don't take one hall in a few classrooms, push the desks to the side and let people put their tents up. Like, I don't get it. It makes no sense. And this is supposed to be the government that cares about you. And the Red Cross, they're doing the best they can. It's like, it is absurd. Like, it makes no sense. I swear to God. And when you see it in person, it's just like, this is insanity. And then they act like they're doing people a favor. Like, this is your evacuation place. And, some of these people, well, I guess there's not, there's only, I guess, 2 homes that have burned in some outbuildings and stuff. It says it's 22% contained, but they can't have the people there. I don't know. If they're in the way, the fire could turn. I have no idea. It's too close to the fire. I have no idea. But the person who, they say that they know how it was started and who started it. It is so fucking absurd. So it was a guy who had one of these, and when I've sit outside, I hear it was boom, 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 boom so many times. It's like, fuck, what are these people doing? And my mom said, well, some of these rich people, they have, targets out in their yard, and some people, they don't like dogs. Some people don't like the geese. Some people will just practice on squirrels. Like, they just go and just, do whatever they want. And so this person, this genius, he decided to just, at the rocks, and which to me, it's like, that seems insane. Well, have you ever heard of a ricochet? You think it's not going to just come back and hit you? Like, that seems absurd to me. And then, but they're doing that, and it's sparked. So it sparked and created the whole fire. And yesterday morning when we were walking And so out here, it's like, you're up on the road over here. And then in order to get down here, you have to go down, down, down. And so you have to go, get out. You have these big hills to go up this stuff. Like when it was ice in the winter, it was like, fuck, you're kind of trapped. Especially if you don't have four-wheel drive, it's so icy. God, man, I just can't believe how time keeps going. It's like, fuck, man. I swear to God, I did not. I just can't even believe how this drags. Everything just seems like it drags. And I have to keep reminding myself, you're where you're supposed to be. Things will make sense at some point. It's just like, fucking hell. So, which now I have a new job. I'll tell you about that in a second. So so you have to go down and go and then go down and go. And then so down here's the lake. So it's up here's this. And then around everywhere is mountains and trees, mountains and trees. So it's all trees and mountains everywhere. And then you're down in this lake. And then you have to go down the road to get to it. And 100 degrees, everything is dried up. It's just like, it's just cooked. The ground is cooked and dry, and it's tinderbox. So, anything could set it off. I guess obviously a spark hitting into a rock can start a whole thing. Which, if that is all true and really happened, then you are held account. Like all the planes that came in to dump the water, all the firemen, all the people, everything comes back on you. Every house lost, everything comes back on you. You have to pay for all that shit. That's what happened to the doctor that gave me the brain injury. And so that's why he started, apparently, supposedly, that's why he started doing insurance fraud, because his son had started one up in an area where it was big mansion houses where they lived, and a few burned down. And he was held responsible for the whole thing. You have to pay for the whole thing. Is on you. All the firemen's pay, all the expenses to put it out, everything that was lost in it comes on you. And the county or the state or whoever it is goes after you for the money. And so this guy, the doctor who did mine, he was trying to do insurance fraud in order to make his money to pay for what his son had done. So that's how I had found out about, like, that all comes back on you. And I may have heard of it before, but it was much more impactful when you have a part to play inside of it, where you are one of the remnants of the situation. And so, but if that guy really did start that all by that, this is going to be an expensive one, man. It's been going and going and going, and it's 22% contained. Like, you got to pay for all this shit. So, and, I don't know, there's some big houses over around there too. And so anyways, but everything is this tinderbox. So yesterday morning, I went and walked in. So we went, so above my mom's place, there's a guardrail. So there's, it's a part where you're coming down the hill. Like if you lost control on that hill and you flipped over there, you'd be flipping over and crashing into her yard and her house, which there's still a slope. Her whole thing is sloped. It's like a slope. And then it's like cut in. That's why I said, like, her driveway is good exercise. It's like a slope. And she decided to build back here instead of down here. And so she's right in the slope, and it's a lot of sandy, like, I even said, like, man, what is that called? When the ground keeps giving out, where they have that happen, and some people's houses just landslide off when it gets too wet and stuff. And that has happened a lot in California. But so, that could happen. And anything could happen. You never know what's going to happen, but it could. But anyway, so she's this one guardrail. And so then you go down, and then there's another one, and it's the road that goes up. So another road starts going up to lead back up to all these houses that are up at the top. It's very strange how they build on mountains and stuff. And so So anyways, when we went and walked yesterday, the dogs keep wanting to go down and walk this certain way. And we walk over into the woods and we go up this path. And usually when we get up to the road, I always say, well, let's turn around and go back. But this time I was like, I had seen when I was driving back the other morning, I had seen somebody walking down the road with their dog. And I was like, oh, I could take them up and walk up that road a little. And so when we go up the path, we'll cross the road, cross over into the other one and walk up because there's no traffic on that. This one has got more traffic and all these big trucks and stuff. It's like, and it's one where some people will go and walk it for exercise because it's such a slope, but it's like there's more traffic on it. And so it's like, I can walk with the dogs on it. It's pain ass enough just walking around over here with them. Because I get them out of the road because I don't want to deal with that every time. And so I always pull my dogs over to the side and make them stop as the cars go by. And so anyways, I thought, okay, well, we'll walk over there and we'll go up that way. So we did yesterday morning. And then I saw like by the guardrail. And so there's this big tree down, which is super cool. Like if you were a kid, this is like, oh man, this is what we would be over hanging out on and making a fort and stuff. It's really cool because the way the branches go down and makes all this, it's really cool. So this tree is down here. Well, obviously the teenagers have found it because there's beer cans and these, big boy cans and everything everywhere. So it's like, oh, this is someplace where kids come and drink, and what a perfect place because you can sit there and you could see like if anybody was coming. And so I was just thinking about that, and the beer cans and being a teenager and the kind of stuff like, the teenagers do. And so then as I'm going back, then all of a sudden I start seeing, oh my God, cigarette butt, cigarette butt, cigarette butt, cigarette butt, cigarette butt. I was like, shit, they're up here smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. And there was so many cigarette butts. I was like, oh my God. These kids obviously don't know, like, this is a tinder box. Once that starts, when I came back, I told my mom, and she was like freaking out. And I said, and I don't know where the water is, like, but that fire would start right there. And she's like, the hydrant's way down here. And I was like, well, I'd be having to run up there with buckets of water because these kids are sitting up there smoking. And so she had me drive her up there to see, cigarette butts, cigarette butts, cigarette butt everywhere. So she said she's going to go write a sign up there and tell them that you can start a fire. I was thinking maybe take a thing up, but I don't think that they would. You've got all these cans. Why wouldn't you put it in a can? Kids don't think. They don't think at all. It's just like you're just throwing cigarette butts down. It's like, are you even stomping them out? Are you just tossing them? You're going to spark a fucking forest fire and oh, Jesus Christ. The price of these houses, like if it takes these houses out, your parents are fucked, man. Because oh man, oh my gosh. But see, that's how it goes though. That's how it works. And then and I think, there needs to be more educating kids. Like, if you want to go sneak and drink beer and smoke cigarettes, be responsible about it. Don't throw cigarette butts all on fucking. It's like you're throwing it on a thing of hay or something. It's like the whole ground is like hay. It's like dried up pine needles and dried up weeds, and they are just waiting to start a fire. It's like, oh my gosh. So, I don't know. That just really creeped me out because there were so many. It was like, that just seemed insane to me. And so, but, I got a job yesterday. It just comes out of the blue. And I do have that kind of thought process of what comes to you is meant to come to you. And that, yes man thing. I mean, you got to be able to set boundaries and stuff. Like, everything is about boundaries, but you don't just push everything away. You don't say, well, no, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. That's like that movie, Yes Man. That is real. I mean, I think that there really is these life coaches out there, get out there, live your life, say yes, get out there and try some stuff. That is real because there is people who just like keep themselves closed off in the world. Nope, I'm not trying that. I'm not doing that. So I don't live like that. I live more of the yes man. And so, and when things come to you, they come to you for a reason. And so my mom's got all these friends who are rescue people. Like she's got all these, her friends are church people and rescue animal people. And so the this one is, she's a rescue person. Yeah, and she's also religious, but I don't know. I don't think they go to the same church. But there's a lot of religion things. But I don't know what her whole belief system is. So, because she was, when we went and had lunch with her one day, she was saying something about the crazy magical, what is that called? Synchronicities when her husband's car wreck. Because her husband almost died in this car wreck. It was really, really, really bad car wreck. And it just so happened where he wrecked, there was a wedding going on, and the people attending, one of the people getting married was a EMS person. There was a doctor there. There was a nurse. Like this whole thing. Like you had your medical staff right there, right when this car wreck happened. So it was immediately, and he's still almost died. Like it was really, really bad. I think it was a head-on collision with a truck. I think he crossed over the line, and hit in face with some big truck or something. I don't remember the whole thing, but it was like this crazy synchronicity. So she was taking notice of that. But there's a lot of people who take notice of synchronicities and, well, the angels and all that stuff, which, you know, it depends on what level, how you see things. So, but she's also very interested. Like she wants to know what I'm doing, how, you know. I mean, I think some people, when they're around me, then they're like, okay, yeah, you look younger and healthier than what would be the expectation of your age. And so, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And so, she's somebody who's like that, like, you know, in medical things, she'll be like, well, ask Kelly this. But she's got my number now. And so, she has asked me things. And she'd ask her for my number because she wanted to ask me certain things. But then there's other times where my mom has said that, oh, she messaged me and she wanted to know about this. So she got hurt or something. I don't remember what it was, but she got hurt and she hurt her back or something. Now, and so whatever it was, the things I had said, but so she's in PT and she's seen a chiropractor and stuff, which I would, I mean, you got to do whatever level you're at. Like if you need to go to PT, when I had my thing hurt, and it wasn't my back, mine was my hip, and I'd fallen in, I've talked about this before, God, my stomach's growling, I feel like I'm starving to death. I was out raking leaves. Is when we went to Spain and Portugal, and then we got back, and it was like all the leaves had fallen off the trees like overnight, and it was wet and slippery and stuff. And I didn't realize until this happened that the slippery leaves are as bad as the ice. They get as many accidents off of people slipping on wet leaves as they do slipping on ice, which I didn't know that at the time. And as what the ER doctor told me. And I worked at the yard, and I don't know, I don't remember. But anyways, that's what I was told. And so all this giant tree in this backyard where we were, all the leaves fell. So I went out and was trying to clean up all these leaves and put them in the trash can. And I slipped. I was pulling the can thing or something. I slipped and I fell, and the trash can opened, and I fell into this giant trash can thing and split my head open. And, you know, I mean, you hurt yourself when you fall. But when I went to the ER, because I would have not done anything, but it was a big gash. And that's where I always talk about, like, I've got this scar right here, and my hair kept splitting. Well, I changed my part a little bit because it kept splitting open on that part where where I could split my head open. And so I had to go get staples in my head. And he tried to sew it with my hair. He tried to use my hair because he said sometimes you can tie the hairs together and it will hold the scalp. but my hair was too soft. It's super healthy and soft because I don't color it in anything. And so, so it didn't work. And so he stapled my head. And, um, but anyways, so that was the only thing that they paid attention about it. And it was, I don't remember what it was, where it was a couple of weeks or if it was a month or something. There was a lot going on in my life at this time too, because I just lost this house. I was getting divorced, just came out of the dark night. My daughter had moved in. My dog had died. Like, I was just boom, boom, boom. I had to move out of that house, move into a rental, and I had a lot of stuff going on with the lawyer. I had court. I had so much going on, and then so moved into this house, and then the people who were renting it decided to sell it immediately. So we had to move out within a couple months. It was absurd. It was so absurd how my life was going for a while. And then, so the, so I was having to move and stuff, and I didn't, at some point I realized that my hip was hurt, and I couldn't, it was getting stiffer and stiffer. And I was like, when I tried to sit down on the ground and sit Indian style, this leg wouldn't go down, it kept staying up. And I was like, ugh, and it hurt really bad. And so it would kept getting stiffer and stiffer and stiffer. And then I went to the doctor, and they said, yeah, I needed to do PT while I was moving, and I was moving to the other side of the state. And I had my papers, but I was like, fuck, man. I was like 30 miles from town. I was like, dang, I'm not going to go drive to go to PT all the time. So I was like, I got to figure this out myself. And that's where I started doing the yin yoga. So I started looking online of exercises and stuff I could do. But I've done PT before, so I know what PT is. It's just fucking going and exercising and someone telling you what to do. So I just looked for it online, exercises I could do to loosen my hip. And so I did it all doing that. And that's why I'd say, you know, there's so much of this stuff you can do at home. See, Max is having some problem. And so everybody's having some problem, man. Everybody. And so anyways, the yoga, doing that, and so a lot of everything I was doing on my own in my house because I lived far out, and so I just figured it out. Even when I cut myself open real bad doing work out there, I didn't go. I made steri strips and I taped it. I cleaned it and taped it myself and used castor oil, and it healed. And I had the reference of a few months before, I was at my daughter's and I was walking past something, and there was a nail sticking out and just sliced the whole side of my foot up. And it was like this big gash. So I had to, this was, because I still was at the other house, but anyways, it was a reference I had. So I had sliced my foot up, and I went to go get stitches at the urgent care. So they had to do a whole bunch of stitches up the whole side of my foot. And then got infected. And it was, I remember that MRSA or whatever, and it's when I was trying to watch those dolls. It was so much stuff going on for fuck, man. So weird when you look back and you're just like, fuck, no wonder, god damn, I'm overwhelmed just thinking about it. And the problems that I had with that foot healing, it was hellacious. And I think I'd have gone antibiotic. Oh my god, it was horrible. And so then when I was at the other house out at my cabin, you know, that I was living in, then I was outside doing some yard work, and a gate fell, and I was trying to move something, and it fell, and it just sliced down my, I think it was like the top of my foot going across or something, and it was like this big gash open, and I was like, fuck no, I'm not going to get stitches. I'm just gonna fucking go in. And I was already at that point doing more on the natural, and I'd already seen that I had been healing myself, which the Hep C thing just came into my mind, because also that was on a Pamela Anderson thing where they said, talking about these people who she was involved with, and somehow they gave her something to heal from that. Well, I healed myself from it, so I didn't take anything for it. And so anyways, I decided I was just going to do the steri strips. So I went in and I got some medical tape and just cut little strips and then just taped it across my foot. And then I just put castor oil. Well, I couldn't put just castor oil right over it because it was tape. So I just cleaned it really good. And then I put those steri strips. And then as the steri strips started, falling off and stuff, then I started just putting castor oil and castor oil. And it was healing and healing. Well, you can't even see it. Like there's a scar where the other one is. And this one, you can't even tell. I don't even know if I could find where the cut was. Both of them were huge. And so, and it didn't get infected or anything. So everything to me is just constantly natural, natural, natural. But anyway, so this lady, she's a rescue person, and she got hurt somehow. I don't remember what it was, how she got hurt. And then, and she's got a huge rescue thing. She's like, I don't know, 30 dogs or something, and I don't even remember how many horses. 20 horses, 15, 20, 30 horses. Like she's got a huge place, huge thing with all these animals, and it's all like very professional. And then also she does grooming. So she has a whole room set up for doing dog grooming where people come and pay to have her do their dogs. And so this is where my job thing came in. So yesterday morning when I got up, I went upstairs. My mom said that she had talked to her and she wanted to see if I would be willing to come out there and work a couple days a week, and she'll pay me so that she has like an assistant because she can't do all this lifting and stuff because of her injury. And so then I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And so she messaged me yesterday. She called me and talked to me, and then she said, so she wants me, to help with the washing the dogs and picking them up and lifting them and moving them around, but washing them and drying them. And then she said, and she's going to train me to groom. So I was like, anything that increases your skills and your knowledge is always good. And her job is like it wasn't a civil engineer. She's some kind of an engineer. So she's some science mind. She's very, a very distinct way of behaviors and thinking. It's very logic driven and stuff. I don't know how to explain it. And so anyways, me coming out there and doing that, she's going to train me to learn how to groom dogs. So anyways, that's a whole nother skill. And then, and that's always handy because anything you learn is another way you can make money. So it's like, well, and it's going to give me some extra money, not like a whole bunch, but a little bit. But still, I just don't see how to, until something gives, I don't see how to get out of this situation. Like I said, forcing it and trying to be desperate is not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to get into the flow of life, of how it goes and where we're going, not trying to battle it. And it's easy to get caught up in this, like, I don't know, panicky feeling like, oh my God, how long am I? It's going to be fucking winter again soon. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I was thinking I didn't even want to be in here through the summer. It was like, I keep on thinking like this crash is going to hurry up and happen, and it just drags and drags and drags, man. And in one of the interviews where I saw Donald yesterday, because I keep talking to him, he's just flying all over the place, doing all this shit. And they said something, and maybe it was after the money one or something. I don't know, it's something with the money. And they said, so they asked him something about the money going back to the people or something. And he said, well, I want to pay down this debt. But then, yeah, I think, we're going to have to give some money to the people. It's just like it just drags and drags and drags. And on what is that page? It has the debt clock thing. There keeps being hidden messages in the debt clock. And I don't even know where you find them. I went to go look one day and it's like, where are they finding these things? But some people are just obsessed over things and they just go through and go through and go through it. And there's little boxes and you click on that box and then a message pops up. And then so I see the people who find them and then share them. And so there was one that, so he just so happens to be at the FR and the talking about the misspending there, and then you see how defensive the guy is who he's walking with and stuff, and then he pulls another guy in to say, you know, he's overseeing it, so he's always got this thing going. And so on the debt clock thing, when you push the hidden box, then it pops up the end of the FR. It's the end for them, and it has a coin, and on the coin it was what was the coin? Some with a silver coin, but it was something specific in the picture that had a message, because everything is hidden messages. And that's what, you know, the people who can, you know, pay attention to the hidden messages, like they do these breakdowns and stuff. So it was a hidden message in the coin, but it was silver, and because silver is going to have a huge comeback. And then there was another part, and it was showing how it all began. These men at this table and where it started, and it was something in the coin too that was like showing the place where it all started. And because what was that one too? Because this was a different podcast. This was a podcast. This was like totally, totally different things. And you know, like I've said, watch how things line up. Watch how they layer. Like when you're trying to figure out your discernment or what's really going on, it's like you got to take a whole bunch of information. Like you can take it and, you know, stick it in your pocket, move on. You take it, stick it in your pocket, move on. And at some point you start seeing like, oh, this person way over here is talking about this, and it goes in alignment with this. So there's a crossover. There's a link here. And so there's the stuff with the money. But what was that other one I was going to say? Start talking about the link, but what was the link? So the oh yeah, the podcast. Okay, so so him being on this tour, which you go look up keywords, and then there's the post that brings in more about the corruption and who's involved and what they're trying to expose. And then then you go to the debt calculator, whatever it is called, the debt calculator, calendar thing, whatever, and you go on that, and it has the hidden message of the place where he's touring is going down, the corruption and stuff behind it. So on this podcast, it was totally, totally separate from any of that stuff. They were talking about Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War, and who there were some involvements that we have never been told about. And I talked about this yesterday, the day before, how it was like, well, the Russians were involved. And so on the podcast, they were talking about, so the, you know, what happened to Abraham at the plague. And then they, of course, there's always a scapegoat. It's always, well, this guy did it. Well, he did it. That's why this whole thing going on with the Moscow, Idaho thing, it's like, yeah, they say that. They say this guy did it. They say this guy did it. But, I mean, they had that whole thing for Las Vegas. Oh, well, he did it. And then all the people down on the ground were like, oh no, there was like 6 people running around with black thing. And then there was more to it with the Saudi print. Like there's always more to the fucking story than we're being told. There's always. And so, yeah, I'm not going to just go like, oh, well, that for sure happened. That's the way they said. It had to happen that way. Yeah, bullshit. So, so on this podcast, they said, you know, who really was, took out Abraham was the, the, the child of Roth. So those people, they were the ones, because they were creating this system of control that was what would be more commonly known as a banking system. So, and Russia had just fought against it, which there's a whole thing about that. It's this family that keeps coming into my mind. And there was a show about it. I can't think of who they were. It starts with an R. The, not the Rasmussens, the something. So some family who was like the ones in charge. I don't think it was like, I don't know if they were considered royals or a president or a dictator. I'm not sure, but they were a family called something like, and there's a show I think on Prime about it, but I don't know because I haven't watched it, so I don't know the accuracy, and I don't even know where some of this information comes from. I don't even remember because it's old. And so the this family were the ones in charge of Russia, and then this other group came in and they made like they were going to let him go or something, and that they were going to take over power, and that these people would just be released, but they didn't. They slaughtered them all, and it was kids and everything, so they slaughtered them. And so when I don't know what this has to do with that, which when I was hearing the podcast and that Russia had fought against to get the child of the Roth out, then in their system that they were trying to take the enslavement of them, if it had to do with that family too, if that had to do with when that happened with them, I don't know if it did or not. But anyways, on this podcast, they said that Abraham was by a child of Roth, and then the God, my hair falling out drives me insane. And then the Russia was fighting him, and so they left Russia and they came here to America to take us over with the same thing, the same system. And the Russians then heard that we were now battling them, which at the time it would have been a lot of immigrants. That would have been, a lot from Eastern Europe, all over the place, Europe, Scotland, Ireland, and I mean, there's a whole thing about the Ireland were like the first slaves. And they were real mean to the fucking Irish. Like they wouldn't feed them and shit. Like, and then the Chinese, everybody has gone through some kind of enslavement. All the different people. There's not just like one group that has always been the slaves to everybody. No, it's been all different. It's whoever had the power and strength to go over and take over one place just turned them into their slaves. And so the Russian people had heard that we were now in this battle with the child of Roth, and so they came over. And so I guess you can find old pictures of the soldiers back at this thing that they told us was a civil war in which he was involved in, and the child of Roth was the Confederate, and he was against them. It had more to do than what they were telling us. It didn't just have to do, the whole enslavement was the enslavement of man. It wasn't just, oh yeah, and I heard another guy talking about the tribes and the reason why they started separating the tribes, because most of the black people, like some of them are Caribbean or African or something, but a lot of them are native. What they told us were like native, they're Cherokee, they're Navajo, they're Sioux, so they come from those lineages. And but where they created a separation is they started saying, well, if they were too dark, because before, they'd call them the Redskins and stuff like that, because they had tone to their skin. So they call it, because they don't really have red skin. They have, melanin. They have color to their skin. They have a tone, and so they the ones in charge, I guess the child of Ra, and they use this whole group, which there was, like I said, it was like they used criminals like pirates and stuff to come over and take over places. so they would send out criminals and soldiers, and because the crown, created soldiers, and then but over here there was a lot of battles where they got like the criminals, like they do the same thing, empty out the prisons, send them over there and tell them, well, the more of these scalps you bring me, the more money you get. So they created these battles always, and always, luring people with money and wealth and what you can have and stuff. And it's also corrupt. Like, and when you're chasing that, what goes around comes around. Some of these people, they just end up, in their own coffin. So, you're lucky if you get one. They'll just throw you out in the desert. So, so the people, okay, so where am I? I'm all over the place in this story. So the slaves, so the darker skinned people. So if they were too dark, then they started calling them. That's what they started calling them, Negroes or something. It was Negro meant black. It's just the name of the color, and so they started calling them Negroes. And so that was, they were too black, so they didn't get called Indians. That's how they started creating the separation. Then when they started going down towards where the border is around where the Alamo and stuff. So that is where they created a lot of tribes were on this side, but they pushed them over to the other side because there's a whole bunch of Mexicans that have now found like, oh, they just came up with Mexican or something. They start calling them something else, but they are really, their lineage is really the tribes of the American Indians. They were the original people of this place too, but they pushed them back into another country and told them they were from there. And now they're finding out they weren't. But then all these black people are finding out that no, their real heritage is that they are Navajo, they are Sioux, they are Arapaho, they're all these different tribes. And but that is where they had divided them out by saying, well, your skin's too dark, you're not an Indian, and you're a Negro. And so then they just created these separations through skin tone and confusion, because then after generation, where they say it takes 4 to completely dissolve what the truth is. So they can tell a lie for 4 generations, and pretty soon the truth is the lie. That's the inversion of this world, and how they've been doing it for decades, is creating a false narrative and then keep repeating it until we all believe it. That's how they have us out spinning on a ball out in space, and they have us all of the absurd shit. It's just they tell a story, a lie long enough, and then we just believe it. But yeah, so you got all of these black people that are really Native American people, and it's all different tones of skin, and it was different tribes. Everything is about the different tribes, and then there's all those different tribes too of the different colonizers of different planets. But planets are really other land masses. So it's just the land outside of the ice wall. There's land out. There's land up. And the map that they show is like in here. We are in this one, and we've got all these land masses, and then they have this ice wall. And you go outside that ice wall, and there's a whole bunch more land masses, and then there's another wall, and then there's more and more and more, because everything is this. That's the way the universe is. I don't know how to explain it. It's like this. It's like if we went way out, I guess we would probably see like the flower of life or something in the way it is designed. But everything is an expansion, and so the land masses outside of the ice wall are really higher vibration, and then you go outside of that, it'd be higher vibration. So it's not like we're going out in space, we're going out. But see what, like right now we have this merging happening, which is what I think is going on in the sky that is causing, there's going to probably be more planes falling. And I still got this flight coming up too. It's getting closer and closer on that too in a couple of weeks, because it's the beginning of September. So now I have this job thing that I'm going to go start doing and learning how to groom dogs and help her. I'm doing it really to help her. It's not like, um, because I don't know. I think that I am taking action in where I'm supposed to be going. And so that's like a sidebar thing, and I don't know, when things come to you, you don't know. I mean, there's obviously something I'm going to learn or experience or something that, that's the direction that the universe takes you on a journey, that is built into your experience through destiny and fate. Like everything that happens to you is fated to happen. It's your destiny. It's what you're here to experience. It's not chaos. It's not, it's all it's a lot more set than that. Than what all the people are like, well, you have every possibility. Yeah, but the possibility you're focused on. And if you're going to change your focus, you have to let go of what was. And so you have, everything is about where you focus your energy. And so and to me, every possibility of every timeline is playing out around us. It's all of us are playing the parts of every single timeline. If you turn right, if you turn left, it's all being played out. And that's why we have like this craziest shit going. And we have like these repeat stories. It's so weird how we have these stories that are repeating and repeating, and they're like so exact. So weird, especially because I watched so much Lifetime movies for so long. That was my thing. Was the channels that I would always watch were TCM, so the classic movie channel. So I'm really into old movies and old movie stars and stuff. And then it's so funny too, because a lot of people don't even know who the people are. But then and then Lifetime movies. I was really into Lifetime movies, and so I would watch Lifetime channel all the time. And there's so many true stories. And I'm always like, these are our stories. These are the stories of mankind. These are the stories of the living beings, of their soul stories. But we have some that are repeat. But there's lots of people I don't know that they know all these stories. So when they're hearing them, it's like it's the first time they've ever heard it. And they're like, oh my God, can you believe it? And I'm just like, it's already happened. We're on repeat. Which another weird thing is, confirmation, that they're actually repeating movies. Like they're pulling all the movies that are coming out are like all ones that the stories have all been. We've already seen them. They've got the Superman, the Smurfs, I don't even remember. It's just all these movies that we've all seen that were like hits, classics, whatever. They're just coming back. It's like, are you coming back because this other generation hasn't seen them yet? You've ran out of stories? You need our stories in order to have stories? Because they don't have any stories, really. They have no creativity. Which, another thing, about like that time traveler saying we're going to go into this, AI running us and everything's black and white and stuff, which we're breaking out of black and white. We're breaking out of the this or that. And that we're going into creativity. So I 100% believe we're going into a very creative time. And creativity is going to be like, we're not going to just wear black and white clothes. People are going to be wearing some people look like they're probably wearing costumes and shit. Like there's going to be all the sides of you, all the weird sides of you that you're going to be able to show them, And there's more to you. Just like how they want to sit there and say, oh, cultural appropriation. So these people are probably lived there at some point in their existence. Their soul is connected to that. So you keep wanting to say like, oh, they're trying to steal someone else's culture. It's ingrained into them. It's like people got to open up, open their minds, open up to what's real and what isn't real. Your soul's journey and your soul's story, and you're so much more. They keep you in limitation all the time, and they keep parameters, and they keep the jockeys of what you're allowed to do or something. Oh, you can't do that. You can't wear that. Like there was this guy. I don't know if I already told about this, but he was just like couldn't even believe it. And so he is, he teaches classes on like basket weaving and other Native American kind of arts or something. And so he teaches this stuff. Oh, how to make drums and how to weave baskets. I can't remember all the different things, but things that, you know, were more Native American, you know, the beginning people, what the things that they did and stuff. And so he teaches about it. And so obviously all his friends are very blue, and they now told him he is a racist, he's a stealer of culture, that he's stomping on the graves of all these people. It's like, it is insanity. It's like the things that you're drawn to are parts of you inside. And I think, you know, there would be the people like the elders and some of these would be proud that there's people who are carrying forth these things. They wouldn't be like, oh well, you're stealing it from us. Don't be. No, it's like they want to see people. What is that? They want to see the people value these things. The things that they value, they want to see people value it. And there's even such a lost culture in like the Native American thing, because when I went and toured the in Vancouver, the I can't remember if it was a whole bunch of different tribes, the Inuit people or something, but anyways, it was this cool ass thing of all this Native American stuff. There's just so much stuff. And not Native American, because in India, I don't even know what to call it, tribe people. And so, but I don't remember if it was one specific tribe or whatever, but it was a whole bunch of stuff, because there's tons of different like masks, there's giant wood, what are those things called, where they have all the faces on them. It's really cool. It has the boats that they would use, all this really cool stuff. You can just walk around it for a long time. There's a lot to look at, and it's in Vancouver. And I can't remember what it's called though, but it's one of the museums. And but on one part that I was watching on this film, and it was like around where all the baskets and stuff, and they were saying that the people who do these arts and stuff, it's being a lost art, that the younger people are not interested anymore. So the people from the tribes are not carrying on. Like not all the kids, they're all in all different cultures being moved out of, split apart from their culture. So a lot of these arts are being lost. And so I would believe that the elders of the tribes would be proud that there would be people who are interested in learning it and teaching it to others. And but these people, it's making me emotional, because I have strong ties and memories of lives from this. Makes me emotional always. But but anyway, so these people are, hold on, I gotta get my composure. I get super emotional about tribe stuff. I always have, ever since I was a kid. You know, I have memories, and I feel like that's one reason why I'm here in this full circle, is to take down what was taken from us. So, and it depends on where you were in the cycle, what you experienced. And so, you know, I think I'm in an experience of where there was a lot of murder of the tribes. And so I think there's a lot of us who came back at this time to take down the ones that took us down. So, and at this point, it's become the corporation, it's become the beast. And so there's a lot. And so I believe that there's a lot of ancestors here battling different areas and different parts of this beast that we're, you know, taking down to move back into a time of peace, because they took our peace. And so Anyways, but this guy's friends all went in on him and was telling him he was cultural appropriation. He's, you know, a horrible person because he's going out and teaching people how to make drums and stuff. And the guy was so confused. He said they're telling him he's a racist and all that stuff. And I commented, I said, well, that's lucky now that these people are showing you who they really are. it's like, you know, people can't help but show themselves who they are. And there's no reason to get all upset and feel like you don't need to carry, they're crazy. You know, it's, you got to see what you're being shown. And don't be like, oh, I must be wrong. They're all against me. No, stand in your truth. Stand in your divinity. Stand in your knowing. Don't take a knee to the psychotic, you know, irrational behavior. Like, have you gone and talked to the elders? Is this what the elders? Are you the police? Are you the ones that are coming to set things straight? Are you just fucking chewing on a fucking narrative that they spew out to keep us divided? Like, get your shit together, man. But people like are showing, they'll attack their friends and, you know, and call you a racist and tell you you're evil and shit like that. So anyways, that's what I think is, you know, that any of the lost arts, any of the things that are going, anybody who starts putting in the effort and wanting to learn it and understand it, you know, basket weaving is complex. And they used to, you know, they made money off of this stuff, or they would barter and trade. They could get things that they needed, so they could make these baskets. And it went on for, you know, I mean, that's been going for a while, because you can go to certain places like in Arizona or New Mexico and go into certain little markets or stores, and you can still get baskets. In Mexico, you can still get baskets that are woven by these different tribes, or rugs, or different things. So, and but yeah, I believe that all these people want to keep these things going. I don't know. I think people get so caught up in, well, you're too white to do that. I'm saying, yeah, but my soul's not. My soul's not fucking white. This is my avatar. My avatar is here for this fucking role that I'm playing a role. It's just a role. My soul is, you know, it's multicolored. and then one of the things too is if you are into the ufology community and stuff, that most of the different beings and stuff that are humanoid are darker skin. They are all, the white is a creation. There is the whites, the tall whites or whatever, and then like the Palladians and stuff. But I think some of these are just like light kind of beings. They're a vibrancy of light. And so it gives the appearance of like white, but I think it's the light is just shining. It's almost like they're transparent. It's like they create an image, and it's so lit up. So it's the lighter, higher vibration being. But I don't think there's like the white skin. I think that most of the humanoid, I think that makes sense. That most of them are dark skinned, and so. Anyway, you know, I mean, they got blue ones, green ones, brown ones, you know, so anyways, but I think the white ones is just, it's kind of like, almost like they're see-through or something. I don't know, we'll see. I mean, we're going to start meeting some of them soon at some point, and so I don't know, we'll see how things go, you know, and when it's going to go. Like if because that one time traveler guy said we start having the thing with the aliens in 2028, but then we've got scientists saying, oh no, they're zooming in right now on their ships. They're coming after us. They're coming for us. Well, they're coming for you, not coming for us. They're coming to help us, not help us so much as save us, but to, you know, to, I don't know, they bring forth information. They bring forth truth, but they're not coming in to just save us. We had to go to save ourselves. It's like we had to have our souls ignite into our own value, our own worth, that we're worth saving. We have to feel that in our own hearts and soul. That's what all of this evolution of man is about, this transformation of us becoming our truth. And that's why there's so much, dark that wants to hold us back. And that's why I say this battle is, it's just getting started. It's just getting started. So I don't know how long all this is going to go, and what, I mean, I'm fucking just hanging on some of this, like, come on, bring in some of the good stuff, like the fucking money thing, make it quit being like where we have to be in this struggle over where we can live and land and all this shit. Like, fuck, man. And the medicine, the med beds, like, come on. Everybody's fucking sick. Everybody's like, come on, man. So that is where it's like, god damn. I swear to God, I thought 2025 we would be having some shit go. It's like, how? And then we're halfway through. It's like, son of a bitch. It's like, god dang, it's hard not to get down and depressed and stuff. Like, you gotta just keep pulling yourself back up. And, and then on the days where you do feel down, because I have days where I feel down and just like, fuck, man, just feel defeated. Then, and then you just, you sit there for a minute, but you can't stay there. You got to pull yourself back out because you're the one who's got to do it. And there's not really anybody else to do it. Everybody else is like falling flat. Everybody else is sick, and their friends are dying. They're losing jobs. They're losing homes. There's disaster after disaster. So, I don't know. There's going to be something, everything when the change is going to be, I mean, right now though, because we are a slow roll into it, but there is going to be a clash of a moment where people are not going to see things coming because they are so busy going and watching concerts and singing to the singer and shit. It's just like absolute insanity in this world. Watching singers pee on themselves. Fucking Ozzy Osbourne switched into Youngblood's body. I swear to God, it's Skeleton Key. I swear to God, he is in it. And I'm just waiting for Sharon to all of a sudden switch, and it's going to be Youngblood's girlfriend. It's like, oh my God, this world is so weird as shit. So weird. It's like, it's so crazy and magical. But the thing is like the people can't see it. They won't believe it. It's like, open your motherfucking minds, because this place is wild. So anyways, I keep being so bummed because every time I wash my hair, it's just like the shedding, like, fuck, so much hair comes out every day, and it's like stressing me the fuck out. That's like, and that probably adds in more. But I saw another thing about the iron thing, and I really don't think I'm deficient in iron. I'm just going to be hopeful on that this increasing the B12 is going to stop the shedding or something. But it's still shedding. But there's still, I keep telling myself, yeah, but there's hair growing. There's hair growing. So, I don't know. It's the whole fucking thing of having to fight to try and be healthy, like where we should be able to just live free and have our health and stuff, and we're just under motherfucking attack by these crazy fucking childs of Roth, all these motherfuckers. So, anyways, the battle's been going for centuries. So, and these fucking vamps, they just keep on going, bodies swapping, eating fucking organs and shit. Maybe that is what they do. Maybe they just fucking chow down on organs. Maybe that's what Selma and Angelina were doing. It's just so creepy how they just go up like, oh yeah, we're not doing anything. We just came by to visit. It's like, you fucking weirdos. Like, you used to be able to do that shit, nobody'd notice, but now we know. As we're all waking up to the fucking nonsense, man. So, well, some people are just, going and singing songs to Justin Timberlake and Donnie Wahlberg. I swear to God, when I was watching, especially Donnie Wahlberg, I kept being like, is he winded? Can he not he can't belt out a couple songs? He can't even get through one whole fucking sentence of a song? It's like, you get a couple words out, and it's like, it's like, jeez. And you got a microphone. So, I don't know, it's wacky world. So fucking wacky. So, anyways, and then this thing, I'm trying to work on the visualization too. But as soon as, the second I go into any kind of I'm out. I'm gone. It's just like, I'm barely being able to keep myself. So, and then when I'm here doing things, it's like, I feel like I'm in a dream. It's weird. I can't tell, like, one day, especially if I take a nap through it, it's like, it's so segmented. Everything is so weird. And I've still got these like weird shocks going through my body. And all of a sudden, like, you know, like all of a sudden my hand won't work. And it's just like these weird things. It's like, what is happening? It's like, but then I see these people saying these weird things are happening to a lot of people's bodies. If you've been working on your vibration and stuff, there's something happening to our bodies. I don't know. There's definitely something happening to mine. So that's all I can tell you. Um, but so anyways, the tooth thing and trying to visualize that. But anyways, in this wacky world, the focus is everything is about your focus. What do you focus on? You focus on their bullshit, you focus on their drama, you focus on their lies, you focus on their division, you focus on the struggle, you focus on fear, or you can focus on you and being your best friend and taking care of yourself, living a healthy lifestyle. And the biggest thing, no matter what all these people try and say, is it comes to the roots of the thing is learning how to love yourself. It all comes from there. Once you go and you put your effort and your energy into learning how to love yourself, yeah, you're going to have to go through all of the different things when you hated yourself and all the different things that you did to try and get people to like you and stuff. Yeah, you're going to have to process it. You're going to have to heal it. You're going to have to let it go. You're going to have to be easy on yourself, but it's something you got to go through. You can't just jump out of that and go somewhere else, because that's still following you behind. It's going to always hold you back. So I mean, yeah, there's a reason how, you know, the soul's journey works and going full circle and what you're here to do. So focus on you, learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody, and how to have the day you want, because it's totally up to you. So anyways, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll see what the day brings and talk about it tomorrow. So talk to you later. Bye.